Going in depth with Jessica Kitt, Senior Utilities Maintenance Coordinator with Orange County Utilities. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about Wishcycling, and anyone who watches Spectrum News knows that our anchor, Beth Bruzoil, loves to cycle and ride like 40 miles. And you would think Wishcycling is, I wish I could cycle that much, but it's something totally different. What is Wishcycling? Because it's not really anything that people have heard much about.
Yeah, so great question. Wishcycling actually has to do with recycling. So in Orange County, you've probably seen those big 95-gallon blue lid carts, and those are for recycling. So Wishcyclers are what we call people who want to recycle correctly, and they want to recycle as much as they can, but unfortunately, it's confusing, and they may not be doing it correctly. So that's what we call Wishcyclers. They want to do the right thing, but unfortunately, we have a lot of items that end up in the recycling stream that don't belong.
So what separates a person from being labeled a recycler versus a Wishcycler? What is kind of the act? Is it somebody kind of putting their plastic in the trash bin and saying, they'll figure it out later? Or what really is kind of the big difference?
Right. So the biggest difference is education. So with Wishcycling, you're just trying to really throw in as much as you can because you're trying to do the right thing. But there are so many different types of plastic packaging and products that come out. It can be really confusing. So Orange County Utilities has invested a lot in recycling education, including we have a new search tool called What Goes Where on our website, and residents can search for hundreds of items if they're uncertain about what to put in their recycling cart. So something to help Wishcyclers, we have a phrase, and it's when in doubt, leave it out. So it's really better to be more conscious about what you put in the recycling cart rather than just trying to put as much as you can in there. Now,
somebody may think, okay, well, if it's not recyclable, they'll go and just put it in the trash pile when the county gets it or whatnot. So, I mean, is there harm being done in this Wishcycling by people putting things in the wrong bins?
Yes, it's definitely, Wishcycling is harmful to the recycling process because of contamination. So contamination is an issue we're facing nationwide with recycling, and it's simply unacceptable items in the recycling stream. So that can range anywhere from number 6 plastic, which is polystyrene, that's not accepted for recycling, all the way to like dirty diapers, which is something we get often in the recycling cart. So that's the biggest issue is the contamination.
Don't put diapers in the recycling bin. I think the crews would appreciate that one quite a bit. By the way, I'm curious, during the pandemic, so many people working remotely, working from home, then relying on, Amazon and delivery services like that. From y'all's perspective, with recycling, have y'all seen any difference during the pandemic? And if so, any particular products you may be seeing more of?
So residential recycling volume has definitely increased during the pandemic. We are seeing more people spend more time at home rather than at work or school or other establishments. We can't say specifically, what items we're seeing more of. We just know that we're seeing more tonnage overall. And of course, contamination is a big issue, whether it's in a pandemic and we have all this material, or we're getting less material. It's an issue.
And of course, online, we're going to provide some of the resources that you're providing us and some of the websites that walk people through on how to best recycle. But kind of in a nutshell, what's the best takeaway? How can people quickly know, okay, I can recycle the pizza box, or I can recycle the detergent container, or, is there anything they can look for, or how can people today start improving and becoming better recyclers?
Yes, so we tell our Orange County residents to think 5 when it comes to recycling. So to help simplify it, there's an infinite amount of items that you could throw away or attempt to recycle, but there's only 5 items that we want in the recycling cart, and that is plastic bottles and containers labeled numbers 1 through 5, metal cans, glass bottles and jars, paper, and cardboard, and that's it. If it doesn't fall into one of those 5 categories, you do not want to put it in your recycling cart, because again, that contributes to contamination, and if there's too much contamination or too much unacceptable materials in a recycling load, that whole load has to go to the landfill. So that's why it's important for the whole community to do recycling correctly, because what your neighbors are doing also impacts what you're putting in your recycling cart.
And then that's kind of got that domino effect, and the next thing you know, it can really have a big payoff in the end for everybody there. Jessica Kitt, Senior Utilities Maintenance Coordinator with the Orange County Utilities. Really appreciate you going in depth. Thank you.